Hi guys, welcome to my channel and my very first YouTube video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Sit back, relax and enjoy. Getting straight into it, I always like to start my application off by doing my client's brows. Depending on what look they're after, if they're after a bold brow, I go a bit bolder. My client's eyebrows here are already pretty much perfect, so we're just softly filling them in and sharpening any lines up and giving them a bit more shape. I like to brush them to soften them up. I'm then going in with MAC Cosmetics Pro Longwear Concealer. I like to do this because I find it sharpens up the shape really nicely. So I virtually just draw a line under the shape of my brow that I've created. And then I go in with my fingertips and soften down any sharp edges and blend down any concealer. I then prep the base of my eyelid using MAC Cosmetics Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. I tend to cover the entire eyelid of this with this, again using my fingertips. I am a very hands-on person when it comes to makeup. If you sat in my chair before, you would notice that I constantly am using my hands, but I do constantly sanitize my hands throughout the process. Using MAC Cosmetics Studio Fix Powder in NC20, I'm going to then set all that eye primer. This isn't something that you have to do. I do know a lot of artists that tend to go straight in with their eyeshadow, but I just find my eyeshadow does blend a lot more seamlessly if I have this product underneath. And I go all the way up to the brow bone with the powder as well. Using my beautiful Huda Beauty Desert Dust palette, we're going to create a beautiful purple smoky eye. Using the shade Amethyst, I'm now going to distribute that shadow evenly across the lower part of her eyelid. You can see how pigmented the colour is. So I like to get the product where I want it, and then it's virtually a process of blending, reapplying, blending and reapplying. There is a lot of blending for a look like this, which doesn't bother me at all because I love a really soft shadow blend. And I love a seamless shadow blend. So although it is something quite simple, it does take a fair bit of time because you just need to build up that colour to the colour you want, but you still need to also make sure you're blending it down enough to create a soft, seamless blend. I don't think you can ever blend an eyeshadow enough. Even when I think I've finished, I tend to go back and give it a once over and blend it again. I'm now creating a super fine line across her eyelid. I don't want the liner to be thick for this look because I want the focus of this eye look to be on the eyeshadow colours and the beautiful lashes. I find the best way to achieve a super fine line is by doing really tiny strokes and lifting up the eyelid as highly as you can to get as close to that lash line. Going in, I am using Huda Beauty lashes in Scarlet. I always like to measure each lash for my clients and make sure that it fits the eye correctly. I apply my lash from the center of the eye, press it down, and then I press down each corner. I like to get my clients to open up and check that they're fitting okay before I further press them in and make sure they are super stuck. Using Farsali Unicorn Essence, I apply that over her whole face just to prep and hydrate it before her makeup. Now I'm using Australis Cosmetics Colour Click Primer in Goddess Glow just to pop on, just to add a nice bronze glow to her skin before I apply her foundation. Sometimes I could use 3 or 4 different primers on one face. I've now gone in with Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation and I've popped that on my hand and mixed into it Iconic London Illuminating Drops. I just love the luminosity that adding those drops creates on my client's face. And you can see here how her skin is glowing already, and it's got that really nice subtle shimmer. And I know people probably think, oh, there's so many different things are going to get applied onto that it doesn't make a difference, but it does come through. We don't want it to be bold and we don't want it to be glittering. You just want a subtle sheen, and that does that. I'm now using LA Girl Pro Concealer in Natural to highlight and conceal her under eye area. These are one of the first concealers that I used when I started to learn contouring and highlighting, and I still love them so much. They're such an amazing affordable price, and for the price they are an amazing product. To contour, I'm using the shade Beautiful Bronze. When I'm normally working on a client, I do apply the contour line to the area I want and blend it straight away. I don't normally leave it settle on the skin like this because it can dry very quickly and it does make it hard to blend. But I'm just doing this solely for your guys' purposes, so you can see how I've mapped out her face shape. I always go in and blend the contoured zones before I blend the highlight zones. And I'm just blending it very quickly now. You'll notice throughout the video I will come back many times to soften these contour blends because I have a real phobia about leaving stripes across people's faces. You want the contour lines to be soft and subtle and very well blended. You can already start to see her face taking shape. God, I love this process. Even when I'm working on my clients and I'm up to this part of contouring and highlighting, they always look at me and they're like, why are you smiling so much? But I get so excited when I see the face shape start to change. Nothing makes me more happier. So I'm softening it a little, but I will come back to that. I'll come back and soften that many times throughout the video. Now I'm going to blend in the under eye area. Oh my gosh, beauty blenders. How did we used to survive without them? They are such an essential part to my makeup application now. I don't know if I could do a makeup without a beauty blender. How crazy is that? But these are the best little things. I always like to soften my contour lines with my fingertips because I find the heat of my fingers softens and melts the product beautifully, molds it into the skin. I just quickly do this. I will come back and soften that a little bit later on, but I still like to keep the shape quite bold for the meantime. I'm going in with my highlight color, and I'm just going down the sides of her nose and down the center again. And by going down the sides of the nose, what you're doing is you're making the sides of the nose the same color as the under eye area. Therefore, when you look at it front on, it looks like it's molded together. So the sides will almost sort of disappear. So you just concentrate on that center of the nose, which makes it appear thinner. My sister has one of my favorite noses to contour, so I always love using her as a model, and she has the most beautiful skin. And I'm now softening and blending that all together. People probably think, oh, that's a lot of layers of makeup. Why am I putting that much makeup on? Is it gonna look cakey? I can assure you that when you're blending these products right and you're constantly blending them, the heat of constantly blending them blends everything in together and almost molds it into one layer. So it's not like there's 4 different layers on top of her skin. It does look very natural. It can look as natural or as heavy as you want it to look. I think that's probably the 4th time I've gone and blended down those contour lines. So I can't stress enough how important it is to make sure that that's all blended well. Now I'm going in with MAC Cosmetics Studio Fix in NC25. I'm baking her under eye area, but I don't often bake with loose powders anymore, as I rather use Studio Fix because it's another layer of a full coverage foundation, and I find it does give a beautiful soft focus effect on the skin. You can already see where I've applied the powder, how her skin looks blurred in those areas. I'm now setting the contoured zones using Studio Fix in shade NC42. I like to set all my different zones with particular colours. That way the whole shape of the face looks more 3D rather than just setting with one flat colour. That's just something I like to do. Now setting the last zone with NC35. Now I'm adding to that under eye area, just brightening it up a little bit with Australis Cosmetics Banana Powder. I bloody love this powder. It is my favourite to highlight the under eye and chin area. I just loosely apply it and then I fluff it off. I don't let it sit on the skin for too long because I just want it to softly enhance that area. Look at that nose. Chiseling her cheekbones now, I'm using MAC Cosmetics Bronzer in the shade Give Me Sun. I love this colour. It's one of my favourite bronzers. I pop a little bit down the jawline, a little bit around the hairline, but it's all just excess. Adding some highlight now, I'm spraying her face entirely with MAC Cosmetics Fix Plus Spray and using the Huda Beauty Winter Solace palette. This highlighter is so bold, I love it. It's not for a faint-hearted person, it's for someone that really likes a lot of highlight. I'm using the whole 3 colours from the palette, but I don't generally like to use the shea butter underneath. She loves that glow. Turning over so you can see just how bold that highlighter is. And I love the little purple hue that it throws. It goes nicely with the eyeshadow palette that we're using today. Again, mixing the whole 3 of the colours. Giving it that 3D effect. And softening that because we don't want a really harsh highlight line. Now I'm just applying some to the Cupid's bow and down the centre of the nose. And a little bit on the chin because we just want to go a bit crazy with this palette. Finishing off with some mascara, I apply that to her lower and top lashes. And then on her lips, I did use Huda Beauty Liquid Matte in Bombshell. I did that off camera because I didn't want to take up much more of your time. And there you have it guys, my first YouTube video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and I'll see you again soon. Bye!